yet.
Okay, we are live.
I'll pretend.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Soul Food Book Club. We are here today to start the discussion of this new book to us, Is There More to Life Than What We Know, by author Joseph Brutto. And Joseph is going to be with us next week, for all of you that are wondering. So I'm so excited that he's going to do that. And thank you, Stacy, for setting that up for us.
You're welcome.
So Stacy is here on the Zoom. Christina has her Kindle version of it. Linda Lemieux, Charlie.
Hello, everyone.
And Mary Lou.
Hi there.
I'm so glad you all are here today. And anybody joining with us in the audience, the name of the book again is There More to Life Than What We Know? And the author is Joseph Brutto, L-O capital B-R-U-T-T-O III. Now, I know Joseph personally, and so does Stacy. Linda, I can't remember if you ever met Joseph.
Yes, a couple times, and he says hello when he recognizes me. He knows me.
Oh, he's like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, every time, like in the beginning, when I first went to his office and was there for one of his gallery readings, the next time I saw him, he knew exactly who I was. He has that kind of mind where he pays attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
And so if he's met you, he'll remember. Awesome. So how's everybody doing with getting into the book?
Good.
Very good.
I enjoyed it. I haven't got my copy yet, but I've read it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
My favorite, like somebody else said in their comments in the book, is Patrick, his friend Patrick, his guide, his spirit guide friend, who always tells him, remember the laughter. Remember to keep that high vibration going with the laughter. I liked reading all about Patrick so far.
Patrick
Yeah.
is a character. I've had the honor of witnessing Patrick come out and his events when he used to do them.
Yeah.
And he is a character.
Yeah, it's interesting that Joseph's voice changes. His face will become different than what it normally is. It's really cool to watch him channel Patrick through.
And he likes to drink too. Well, Joseph doesn't, but Patrick is always trying to get him to have a little.
We're
Well, he's
telling
Irish.
stories on him and he's not even here.
I should save that for next week.
They have a reputation, those Irishmen, right?
Yeah.
You got that right. Okay, I'm trying to share this to somebody who wanted to join the Soul Food Book Club. I told her we were just starting on the book today, so maybe she'll come in. My computer's not cooperating a whole lot.
Uh-oh, mine's been doing that. I like the way the book is written. It's just so easy to read and it keeps your attention. It's very well done.
Yeah. And
Please discuss, because my computer is not a happy computer.
it's like, welcome to his journey. And we all have our own journey, and it's, and some parts of it, you can see how it's compatible or in some ways, I don't know. It's like almost like my journey. It's like, wow. And he's got these spirits or even Sparrowhawk or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And I had things come to me and I didn't realize, that they were guides. I was looking for the people, they came to me. One was a Paul and one was silent warrior or something like that. I'm trying to look up in my notes that are all scribbled from, I never put it together. I was supposed to I can hardly read half of it because half of it was when I was sleeping. You know, I'd wake up and just scribble the stuff down, and but you know, and they was told I was to meet with a Paul and a silent, you know, silent warrior. It was silent something or other, you know, but it was like, you know, an Indian sort of one, you know. So I even was looking online and searching and everything. And the Paul I wound up getting a reading from. First, I thought it was a different Paul. And then I said, no, it's not him. And then I connected with this other Paul and got a reading. But now I'm wondering if they were supposed to be their guides or whatever, you know. I'm like, I don't know. So I guess I'll have to try and get back into more. I used to connect more when I was sleeping, and I don't any, you know, I haven't in a long time, you know.
You don't sleep or you don't connect?
A little of both, I guess.
That's me too.
I'm there with you.
It's a little of both.
It's like sleep? What is that?
Yeah.
Right, Stacy? Stacy had an experience last night where was awake and couldn't go back to sleep.
Until 6:30. That's why I missed morning cuppa, because I was just out finally.
Yeah, I do that some mornings too. I'll get up and, you know, get Erica off to work or whatever, because she comes home in the morning, and then after that, some mornings I'll just go back to bed. I'm like, I'm too tired.
The joys of retirement.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, but every so often when you do that, you miss an appointment, Charlie.
I know. Yeah.
Got to give him a hard time when I can. So the book, do you find it easy to read? Let's talk about this book that we're all delving into.
Oh, it's so easy to read, and you just fall in love with it. It's like, wow. Yeah. That's the way I see it. Yeah.
I agree with Charlie. I too am exhausted. I've had quite the shakeup of schedule, and it is literally impossible for me for this remainder of the week, and this whole week has been, to get like an 8-hour chunk of time to actually sleep for that long. It's just like physically not set up to have that happen. So I just have to get to the end of this week, but I like his style of writing is in little storytelling, and they're very short stories, all kind of stitched together. And so I find that to be easy, especially right now where, quite frankly, I'm falling asleep. Yeah, when I try to do something that's that quiet, you know what I mean, as to read, and I don't mean to, but I appreciate it because I can at least make it through a couple of stories. And it gives me some thought, you know, something to think about or dream about, which is what I have to say. When I do sleep, I've been having some pretty good dreams, dream time and dream adventures. So I like that. And I don't know exactly why that's all of a sudden coming back in. Those kind of come in surges for me. But I also found it interesting. There were some similarities there. Like his stories, some of his stories, I just really have felt like, oh man, you know, I've already started writing down little things so that when he is on next week, that I remember what I want to ask him questions about, or just get maybe just a tad bit more insight, because it might be something that reminds me of something that I'm going through or have kind of questioned or whatever, and just see what his insights might be for, you know. Yeah, I can't wait to meet him. And the book, like I said, super easy. If you like little stories, it's easy to follow his stories. They're fun. And like I said, they're just like a page or two long, some of them.
Joseph has a great sense of humor, and I think that comes out in his writing. And
Yes.
especially when he's telling the stories, and
You
when
know,
he
and
tells
it's
stories
funny
about
because-
himself too.
Yes, lots of funny things. And it's funny because my girlfriend and I this morning were just discussing how we use laughter and we think of ourselves almost abnormally. But that's one of the things I resonated with him was with the humor end of it. Because like we were saying, it doesn't matter. Like we can go through a haunted house and you can tell exactly what room we're in based on us laughing hysterically, because we react to laughter when we get scared, when we get nervous, when we, you know what I mean? It's all kinds of stuff. So anyways, I can already tell that he's going to be a fun and funny guy to meet, fun person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
I like the beginning of the book that he explains things. And a lot of people throw around terms, assuming everybody else knows them. And I guess there's some I just don't know the background of, like Akashic records. I mean, I hear that all the time, but I don't really know what that is. So his explanations are very simple, and I go, oh, that's what I mean. And I know it's records of, I know what it is, but I just never know where it came from or any history behind it. So it's really nice to find out some of those things that I never got the whole picture before. So that was very nice. And I like his style of writing. It's like if I asked him a question, he's answering me personally.
Mhm.
I don't feel like it's not cut and dried. I feel like I had asked him the question and he's talking to me. So that makes it real interesting.
Yeah, it does. And he's a great teacher. So that's a good thing to point out, Linda, that he doesn't just assume that everybody knows everything that he's talking about. So
Mhm.
thank you for bringing that forward.
Yeah. you're welcome.
I did some of his early when he first started out on his journey. He gave me my first reading, and it was one of his first events, and so he did a very good job. Then he started doing little classes to help people do bring up their mediumship and stuff like that, and he did just a fantastic job, and I really enjoyed it. So knowing him and knowing his stories and reading the book, I can really connect.
And it's interesting that even though it's his story in his book, he incorporates the experiences that he's had with other people, and that I think is what keeps it very, very interesting. It's not just his knowledge and his information. It's a lot of how he felt when he was going through the learning experiences himself.
Mhm.
And that piques your interest for me.
Yeah. And the woman from Ireland that did he ever find her again? Stacy?
I'm not sure. Actually, I'll ask him.
Well, we can ask him next week.
Yeah, next week we'll ask him.
I was just curious about that. How she, I don't know. I'm not finished with the book. I don't know if she comes back again into the book or whatever. But yeah, so. But I can. It's like I know them. I don't know. It's like,
We all know each other.
yeah, it's like, wow.
Yeah, we don't have to be introduced in the physical at any other point in time. We all know each other on the soul level. But I think Christina had a great suggestion. Write down what it is you want to ask him so that when he comes in next week, you're prepared with the things and you won't be forgetting what it was that you questioned or that you would like an answer to.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many things that have to.
It made me happy to read the part about the prayer ties, because when Teri came to my house and we did the Massachusetts land blessing, we actually did the prayer ties in a little bit different way. He explained that they threw them into the fire And I loved that, another way of doing it. You could bury it for a land blessing, or you could, use the prayer intentions. The ritual component is something that I've grown up with in my background. The church that I am part of is very deep and rich in ritual. And so I loved, the prayer tie concept, and him talking about the tree spirits, and and connecting with our loved ones in a seance, even though I've never been to one and never really had an inclination to go to one, because I've been blessed, and I do feel very connected, just by the knowledge and the love that I have within me already for my ancestors, with my mom and my dad and my sisters that have recently passed. I feel connected to them, and it's lots of times, like Christina said, through laughter. In my life, I've been given a gift of joy and joyfulness. And, so of course, laughter's there. When we did the land blessing, Teri said, why don't you, have a song, Mary Lou? Does anybody have a song? And my song was joy. I've got that joy deep in my heart, So I am enjoying his book very much. I'm connecting with a lot of it, and a sense of, understanding new things. And it's great. I also want to just say that, I have that leeriness of seance, and in a lot of the new things that I'm hearing about in my life at this stage. And for affirmation, I don't know if this is true or not, but I was watching a TV show, and I was asking my husband before we came on, what was the name of it? Neither one of us can remember it, but it's a show about you have to prove who's the imposter. It's on like at 10 o'clock at night, and you have to prove, there's like 6 people, and they're all claiming to be a certain person. They're pretending that they're not that person, and the others have to figure out who they are. They're imposters. There's 5 imposters, and one that is the real person. And it's a fun mystery kind of a show. And they ask questions to give you hints of who they are. And one of the questions was, who participated in a seance? And they had names of all these people, and one of them was Mother Teresa of Calcutta. And guess who the person that was is Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Now, I don't know if that's true. It doesn't seem very likely to me, but if it was televised on national television, I don't think they could lie about it, and say that she did. I did Google it and try to find something, but I think that would be hard to find. But here I am reading about seances, and, and there, it was like, okay, just keep going with it, see what happens.
Yeah, I
Did
think
anybody else on here ever go to seances? Have you been to one?
I've been to one.
I
think there was such a negative connotation about seances. Therefore,
right.
There were a lot of people that were fake, that were, doing them, and it's been portrayed in media about the people doing the seances, that it's not real. But I know that Joseph does them, and I know that he has high integrity. So when he does them, it's the real deal. Just like when he holds a gallery and does readings for people, or brings me family in that is in spirit, he's an evidentiary medium. And that means that he's going to give you something that is evidence that that's who he's talking to. And I've seen this happen. I know, Stacy, you've seen it more than I have, but I've seen it happen many times in the galleries.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And he comes from God, and he believes his gifts are from God. And he's such a sweet soul. If he has a family member come in and nobody comes through, he'll reimburse the money, and he'll read for free as well. So it's for healing for him. He does.
I just put myself on mute. And I stopped.
I do know people that have, that have gone to seances, and I don't know if they even call them that. As much more common today, I think, is that people go to a medium, and then they can sense the presence of their loved one. And I know people who have done that, that wanted to connect in some way, and it's not really a formal seance with all of the ritual involved in a seance, but it's people like I said it before, I think that at another book club or one of the things that we do together, where, there's mediums on TV that we're becoming more familiar with them and more comfortable with them, and recognizing that, most of them that are genuine, I think, Stacy, that's true, are very God-centered. And he said that in his book already. I haven't read the whole thing, but that he always goes back and says, wait a minute, this is not about me. This is God allowing me to have this gift.
Yeah. And he definitely is grateful for the gift, and it's always from God. And we'll have to ask him too, how many, because I've been with him in many journey, different galleries and so forth. And we've had laughter and we've had tears. I want to ask him, what's the funniest thing or most embarrassing thing? Because he's had to say some things and I'm sitting in the back going, oh my goodness.
Yeah. What I learned with being there in his presence for the galleries is to go confidently. So many times we question, am I hearing that? Is that me thinking that? Or, just having that little bit of insecurity. But as I watch him do the gallery readings, there is such a confidence. And that comes from knowing where that reading is coming from, that it's not him, it's from God. So it helped me to be right there and interact and watch as he did this work, and that I knew was blessed from source energy. A lot of mediums get a bad rep. And, I know Joseph's had his amount of criticism of people that shut down and don't allow themselves to be read. But yeah, I've seen many of the messages he gave that were so comforting to people. That's what mediumship is all about.
Exactly.
Giving those people that comfort that their loved one is in a good place and it's doing okay and happy. So.
Yeah. And I get the phone calls or the texts from people after a message came through, and tell Joseph that he was 100% spot on. I was not sure about it, but that, and the other, and just the touching messages and phone calls that just I get to witness and relay to him. It's so beautiful. It really is. I do love my job.
Tell everybody what your job is, because I don't think it's been mentioned.
Oh, okay. I am Joseph's assistant, so I book his appointments, and I'm the first contact people have with him. I explain things to him. I book them and help them with any questions and stuff. And I've been with Joseph probably, oh my gosh, 13 years, I think, with a little break for a while when Teri was with him. But I've known Joseph for 15 years now. So I've watched him go from beginning to where he is now, and he'll go on to be greater, I'm sure.
Okay. Anybody else have anything you want to bring up about the book or the man behind the book?
He has a couple books, and I think he's working on the third right now.
Now, did he revise this book, Stacy? This is the revised copy that's on Amazon,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's the revised one.
Okay. And I don't know if you mentioned Joseph had gone to Brazil and was with John of God, and John told him, that his gifts were powerful and that he was a great healer. And Joseph is a healer as well. He can do the hands-on touch, and the pain, just wherever it's at, whatever it is that's going on, it just dissipates. Again, because he's giving all glory where it belongs, to God. And when he does the healing galleries, he plays this beautiful music, and he just walks around, and you just feel the spirit flowing with every step that he takes. So I think he's probably going to bring that out in the book. It's been a while since I've read the whole thing, but I think he talks about that, about John of God and the healing. And he tells it, when he tells it in the gallery, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found back in June, it was, of last year, not this past year, the year before. It came to me, listen to Paul and Silent Girl. She is in a beautiful cloud waiting to be noticed. There is an ocean inside my mind, healing our pain with prayers. That's what came through to me that night. So it was like, it's like, I don't know. I don't know who Silent Girl is or Paul. So anyway.
And Mary Lou, Tammy Fisk is watching, and she said the show that you were talking about, that you mentioned, is The Hustler.
The Hustler, yes, that is the name of it. I enjoy it. I think it's a fun show.
I like it too. I like that show.
And
Thank you, Tammy, for reminding me the name of it. I lose it sometimes up there. I keep it in my heart, in my mind, but to be able to get it out sometimes is a struggle for me.
Right. And Luz is with us too in the audience. Hi, Luz.
yeah, I was very intrigued about, I guess when he went for that retreat or whatever with the Indians, and there were no Indians. What were the name of them, that group that met? This Yamis or whatever. Oh. When he went away in the beginning.
Oh, was that to Ocala?
Yeah, it might have. I'm looking for it. Yeah, Ocala, right. With the Native Americans, and then there was no Native Americans there.
Yeah, he'll have to tell that story. That's a really good one too. I wish I had my book with me. I get both books confused because I've read both of them.
Yeah, it was like, wow. And that was where the prayer ties were too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In that one.
Yeah, he's had some amazing experiences.
Yeah, he has. And he's got cards that were developed from one of those experiences.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that he'll talk about that when he comes on next week and tell how those came to be, because that was a pretty interesting story as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have those cards.
I have those cards. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing with the Indians there.
It was cool because that's the part that he explained a lot of different ritual, using medicine rocks and prayer ties, and the vision of the fire circle, where he talks about the Sioux prayer, that we are all related.
And the spiritual DNA, he got it from the Bijanis. Bejines. I don't know if that's how you say it.
The genes. Yeah. Yeah. He tells that story so well. It's so funny. So I'm hoping he'll tell that. And that's where the symbols came from, that he made the cards about them.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy, that story. It's almost like, I mean, anyone else would think you were crazy, but we're just like, we're in that higher vibration, and we can understand where it's coming from, but you know, other people he'd be put away. You know, it's like, wow. And how there's many universes and stuff like that. And, you know, this is, you know, but like we're just in our bodysuit, like, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's really intriguing. I don't know. I just totally enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to read it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I love what you were saying, Charlie, and I think it would be really good to have a discussion with him when he comes on to talk to us about his gifts and how received that was, or if he struggled like a lot of people do when you start telling people what you're hearing or knowing or feeling inside. And some people just really look at you like you have two heads. I was like,
Oh, I know. My own
you know that.
my own family does. It's like, you know, my son thinks I'm a wacko, you know.
I think he did bring it down to a simple technique that he used, or somebody used with him, where they asked to think of a number, and he'll ask them to think of a number, and he can choose that number. Or he asked, there was one other thing that he asked them, think of, maybe it was think of a color, I'm not positive, but a simple thing like that to reassure people, that there is something more going on than just a human to human conversation. There's there's another energy, another presence involved.
Yeah.
I believe he shares in the book as well, where he's originally he went with his ex-wife to a spiritual thing because she was into it, and it ended up him being the one that really came through and had the gifts. So I don't think he knew. He knew when he was younger, but he kind of put it away, and then he found out that he really does have major gifts. So I think it started out that way, where he went with her, and then he blossomed from there. His first teacher.
Right.
Yeah, I think he probably has it in this book that when he was a child, he had the gifts way back when he was a child, and saw his grandmother sitting on his bed, and his dad came in to tell him that she'd passed. He's like, I was just talking to her.
Yeah, he said it scared him a little bit.
Yeah. You tell people you talk to dead people, and they just, they think you're a nut job.
Or they get scared because that's normal.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, that's like in the last book, I think, or the book before that. They said, you gotta watch what you say to who you say it to, or whatever, because some people might not want to hear it,
Yep.
Yeah, using your discernment. Should I say this?
Right. Yeah.
Another thing Joseph said was because I used to, try to give my messages because I was so excited about it, and people were like, back up. And he said to me, you can't do that. When they come to you for messages, then you give them to them. But unless when they come to you, you're more confident and you're going to get it. If you just start going out like the Long Island medium and reading people in public, that's kind of like, wait, no, that can be a little off-putting sometimes to people.
Yeah.
So I've learned a lot from him.
Oh, yeah. He's a great teacher. Even just watching him and observing what he does, it's a teaching that happens because you learn the methods that, how he interacts with people.
Yeah.
And
it's genuine.
It's genuine. He's, like I said, it's that evidentiary mediumship where, you're talking to Aunt Polly. You're not talking to Joseph. You know that person is delivering a message. And I've seen many times where he would tell people their loved one is reminding them about a red barn, or telling them that they're wearing a piece of jewelry and it's hidden, so there's no way Joseph could see that they had it in their purse or in their pocket. That he would say something from their loved one, and all of a sudden they're like, well, yeah, here's a picture of the barn, or here's the thing I had in my pocket. So that's the difference between somebody that really can give detail about the loved one that's coming through, and somebody that just, just tells you, oh, this is what they're saying. I mean, how do you know that that's them saying it until you get the evidence of it?
I have a story I could share, and I don't know if I should share it now or wait for Joseph, but I got plenty to wait for Joseph.
Yeah, we'll have you share it again next week too.
All right. So he had a retreat that he planned. It was a 2 or 3 day retreat in West Palm somewhere. And it was a gallery. And he had this lady, and she was wanting to communicate. She had a couple of family members there. And he kept saying, I have your ex-husband here, and he is on the other side. And she's like, no, he's not on the other side. He's here. My kids are with him. And long story short, she called me 2 days later and said during that gallery, her ex-husband was playing basketball with her son, and he had a heart attack and died.
Wow.
I still get chills.
Mhm.
So, that's proof that he is actually getting, and we can all, if we tune in,
Mhm.
So
We all have access.
Yeah.
That door is not locked. we have to be the one to open it and to be open to it and to allow it. And I know it can be scary. There's so much that we could just be mind blown by if we think, oh, what if this happens, that we can't project. And if you open the door and you want to develop your spiritual gifts, then it can be a little bit anxious to do that at first.
Yeah. And staying in the higher vibration is a must. And he stays in that realm all the time. He's had his brain tested. And I don't know the scientific whatever of it, but he stays in that higher level. And I feel like the way he does it is like, if we're having a day and because it's a job and people do call and they do sometimes frustrate me. I call him and I'm all upset, and he's just like, oh, it's okay. No worries. We'll do this or we'll do that, or I'm sure there's something going on. Or I've never one time heard him say a bad word about anything, any situation or anything like that. So he just stays in that love. He stays in that love area,
No worries.
Don't worry, be happy.
No worries.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
it.
I have to get going. I have an appointment. So I'll see y'all
Okay.
next week.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not going to stay on much longer, but Stacy, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
We love you.
Bye. Have a great
Nice.
rest of your day, Stacy.
You too. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So I want to read Liz's comment. She said, that is so true. It's even scary when they come out without expecting it. It happened to my sister. She went to get a reading, and the card reader's loved one, came through, but through my sister. That's when my sister knew her gift enough, though she does it with our loved ones and not strangers. So that was her new experience. Yeah, when it just comes through, it's powerful. And you have to say it, just like what Stacy was saying. You have to put the message there if it's been given to you, but also use your discernment. Is this for that person? And maybe ask, can I have your permission to share what I'm sensing or feeling or knowing? Always do what you're doing with respect for that other person.
Right.
Well, one thing that I noticed that he wrote in the book was that he stays in communion, in prayer and meditation, and that he always asks before he does any kind of interaction with anybody, you know, that he's in that right mindset, in that right place.
Yeah, I've been there when he does his gallery. A gallery is where people are just sitting around in a circle or in a audience, and he goes through and whatever loved one comes in. And I have seen him go and seclude himself before he comes out to give the messages. So I know he does a lot of prayer time and a lot of meditating. And that's what we need to really connect in and go in and do that inner dive to open up to our gifts. Okay, any other thing that you all want to discuss about the book at this point? I don't know if you all are like reading it through, if you're stopping at a certain point. Somebody asked me today, what chapter are you on? And I said, I have no idea. This is the first time we're talking about it. So there may be people that don't even have the book yet that are listening. And there may be those who have read the whole thing. So.
You know, the way he has it set up, like Christina said early on, is in smaller story, like, you know, situations. And even now I'm just browsing through, and you know, and at some point he's going to go through the chakras, you know, with us, and he's already done a great deal of the ritual, and you know, and like I just said, that I opened again to this page 74, and it's the protection prayers that he uses into, you know, asking Saint Michael, the Archangel, and the Holy Spirit to shine light of truth. And so that, you know, you could use the book and just open it up to, you know, something, a point of interest for you. You know, I'm finding that I want to read right through it, you know, and see what he has to say, so I can get to know him a little bit before he comes on with us next week.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to get the link to the book because somebody's asking what the book is. So I can put that in the comments.
I can pull the book up.
Yeah, I just gave them the Amazon link.
What we know. Joseph the Brutto.
Okay, so the Amazon link is in the messages for those of you who may not be aware of what we're reading and talking about. Yeah, the author is Joseph Brutto III. He does live in Florida. I have met him personally, as has Linda. And next week, he will be right here on the show with us to talk about the book and any questions that we might have.
And he's
Linda, would you be willing, Linda, to share your experience when you went to see him?
Yes, I didn't know what to expect, but I felt comfortable. Sometimes when I go someplace new, I'm a little hesitant. That's my personality. But I felt very confident as soon as I walked in, and I felt like I was honored to be there. When he came in the room, I felt like honored to be there, whether it was a gallery, whether he called on me or not. It was just an honor to see him interchange with other people. So I think he did say something to me, but some people he took a lot more time with because they had recently had someone pass, or there was a message for them specifically. So, but it was very, I don't know if enjoyable. I enjoyed myself. So it was comfortable. And I really got a lot out of it. I went 2 or 3 different times. I went one weekend where you have something in the day and then something at night. And I think, Teri, we walked over to the deli next door for lunch one of those days. Yeah.
Yes, we did. Linda, I can't remember when I went to the class that he taught about meeting your spirit guides.
I did not go to that class, but I would love to.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if you were there. That class helped me tremendously.
Yeah,
and
I would.
During that session, he has you connect with your spirit guide and just.
Oh, she froze.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was me or not.
No, it was the spirit guides.
Can you still hear me though?
Now we can.
Oh.
How you came back.
You were saying oops, she froze again.
Are you there?
The
I'm
spirit
here.
guides
It's
don't
telling
like
my
that.
internet is unstable.
Yeah.
I thought it
I'm
was
back.
you that was unstable.
Well, I think it's telling me that in a nice way, Charlie. But yeah, I'm excited to have Joseph come in and some of the things we're going to learn from him. Hope is with us in the audience. Oh, Hope, we love you so much. You have my heart today. And Hope says, thank you for today. You guys have picked me up. Good. And Tammy Fisk won or purchased the reading from him that he donated as part of the fundraising for the Peace on Earth tour. So she has her reading set with him on October the 7th.
Oh,
So I think that's pretty awesome.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And Luz is asking, where is this place at? I don't know which place you're asking about.
Maybe
yes,
where
Julie.
he does his groups.
He does them in
Yeah.
different locations. He even does one over by my sister in Sarasota. He goes over there, but he's going to be
Yeah.
having an event in Royal Palm Beach in a couple, maybe in the beginning of November.
He's doing one at Love and Light on October 2nd. Luz, I can't remember where you're located, but yeah, Joseph is based out of, I think is he in
Boca.
West Palm now or North? He's in Boca now? Okay.
Well, when I saw you, I had stopped at his place on the way, and he was in Boca. But
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
no longer has an office there.
okay. Then
Yeah,
I don't.
with the pandemic, he let the office go, and he's working mostly out of his house. And Luz says her sister is in Florida. So Luz, he will be at Love and Light Spiritual Emporium on October 2nd, if you want to give that information to your sister. And Linda, you said he's going to be at Jamar's. Is that where he's going?
No, it's the Royal Palm Beach Civic Center. He's going to have 120 people.
Okay, cool.
There's some tickets. So Stacy would both, all that stuff.
What day is that?
I don't know. I think it's the 8th, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to give out the wrong date. I saw it on Facebook.
Oh, the 8th. The 8th's a Monday.
I'm not sure. I looked at it, but I didn't put it in my memory.
Oh, because I'll be down there for 2 weeks, and I'd like to see him.
Oh, I'll get with you later and see when you're going to.
So Luz, I will send you a message, Luz, through Messenger, because I don't have his website in my head right now to put it in there. But I will let you know so your sister can check him out.
Ourjourneyoflife.com.
Thank you, Charlie. Ourjourneyoflife.com. He will be at Love and Light Spiritual Emporium on October 2nd. That's in Fort Lauderdale. All right. Well, anything else that you all want to make a statement about or offer up something for all of us to be thinking about before Joseph comes on next week? Just share that and we'll end the show today.
I'm good.
Okay. Well, let's thank everybody for being here. So appreciate this show and this time together. And, it's like every book we read, there's an excitement about the book. I don't think we've had one yet that was like draggy and nobody wanted to do it. They're all spirit inspired of what's to be. And we have a beautiful book, I think, that we're going to be discussing very soon after this one. And somebody we all know and love wrote that book. Yes, our new author in the house, Mary Lou. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I'm very humbled by it and excited.
Yeah, Jean showed us your book last night.
Oh,
she got hers.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
So
and
many
I'll-
people have gotten it. It's very exciting. And I just hope and pray God's blessings come to everyone who reads it.
Yes, it certainly will. I hadn't seen the printed version yet, and Jean was able to hold up to the camera what those pages look like for us to do reflection in there.
Mhm.
And it looks so good. The little bird is right there, the little dove. Right
You know,
by the
we talked about putting it in color, and it just wouldn't allow us to do that, you know. So I'm okay with it, with the, you know, the black and white version inside, because I'm over the moon happy with the color, the cover that we chose, Teri. It's beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
I
is.
love it. With the open hands and the lights. I'm very
Mhm.
happy.
Good, good. All right, so let's get off of here for today and get on with our day, whatever that looks like for you all. I think I might go out and play with some of the color in the trees.
Mhm.
They're so gorgeous right now.
You could
Can we
take
do
a
that?
couple of those leaves and put them in a book and press them for memory for
Mhm.
yourself.
Yes, well, I have this wonderful journal that somebody right here on Zoom gave to me when I first started out on the journey. I came to Michigan to do a land blessing, and I was pleasantly surprised to receive that journal. And it's got these plastic inserts that you can put things in. So I have a red leaf in there that I just put in because I
Nice.
wanted to be reminded of this time up here in New England and what it was looking like while I was here.
See, Mary Lou, you knew that already. So why you have to tell us? You already knew that. You just got to
Yeah.
go with.
You got to go with it.
That
So-
you seen that she put it in there because you saw that already.
Yeah,
Go with your intuition.
absolutely. And it's such a treasure that I have that was gifted to me from our own Christina. I got to meet her in Michigan, give her hugs and love, and she's
A pretty
blessed
Christina.
me.
It's blacked out.
I know. She had somebody come in unexpectedly.
Oh.
So, all right. Well, let's get off of here and wish everybody a good day with
Namaste.
We'll see you later. Come back next week when Joseph will be with us. Bye, everybody.
It's gonna bring